Jolene and I talked for a bit, and I was like, maybe I get out of Atlanta. How about we don't worry about Atlanta? Because anyway, I don't play well with others anyways. One day I came into work and they gathered us together and like, yeah, your department's no longer needed. And at that point, I was 50 years old and I loved my job. It was probably one of the most devastating moments of my life. Can't ever remember me thinking, I wonder if this will work.
No hesitation.
I always knew it would work. I always knew it would work. It's a Sabanism. It's a Nick Saban phrase. And we use a lot of them in this
We
gym.
like us some Nick Saban, you know that.
But he says high achievers don't like mediocre people and mediocre people don't like high achievers.
Say that one more time, Jim, for me. Can you
All
say
right.
that one more time for me?
High achievers don't like mediocre people and mediocre people don't like high achievers.
Boom.
Boom.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Burn Boot Camp podcast. This is a really special episode, everybody, because I am here at one of 7 gyms that get the Mark of Excellence. The Mark of Excellence is the most coveted award that any of our locations can earn. And today, it's a very special treat because I have multi-unit franchise partner of the year for 2023, 4-unit owner, Hoover Homeward. You have to correct me if I say it wrong because I was always scared that I was going to say it wrong, but it's Vestavia Hills.
Oh, man.
It's
not.
What is it?
It's Vestavia Hills.
Vestavia.
But listen, how about this?
Okay.
When we first opened this gym, when you used to have the big orientation.
Yes.
I came in here and I was like, we were originally supposed to open our first location in Vestavia Hills.
I did it.
And
I did
the whole room lost.
Oh, they got mad at you. I hope you don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
Vestavia Hills. Okay, I'm good. I'll never say it wrong again. And Meadowbrook.
Yes.
And 2 more coming down the way. So
Yes.
listen, I don't know if you knew this, Jim. I pulled some stats. I got a research and development team now. Back when we first shook hands and poked your pin into that map.
Yeah.
When was that?
2016.
2016.
Yeah.
We didn't have any of the fancy stuff, but I got an R&D team, and they're pulling stats. Guess what? 2,359 members as of today in 4 locations. You guys,
Yes, sir.
Give it up for Jim, everybody. Let's go. And he'll be the first one. I'm going to give it up to him in a second, but he'll be the first one to give it right back to his amazing team.
Absolutely.
It is. You guys are the shining star, not only of the East Coast of the country, but you guys are the shining star of Burn Nation. 44 states, 400 plus, over 450 now, Jim, operating locations, and you guys are the shining star of it. My friend, I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for your partnership. I truly mean that. Is not hyperbole, my friends listening, from the bottom of my heart. I've shared many sentimental moments that we won't share with the public behind closed doors with you, my friend, and it is an honor. It's a privilege to be your partner, to be your friend, and to watch you and Jim's Angels here in the greater Birmingham market just crush it. So welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. So why don't you just take us back a little bit, give us a little bit more bio than I was able to add, and let us know where you come from, and we'll kind of speed up to when you decided to become a franchise partner. You can tell us that story as well.
Sure. Well, I grew up in Ohio, and I couldn't get out of Ohio quick enough. So at 18 years old, I joined the military, got married, and I graduated, joined the military, and got married all in June. And I was gone. And then, went through life and spent 6 years in the Air Force. And then I got out and I did retail. And I did retail for what felt like ever. And I'll take it into what brought me here. I did retail forever in the stores. And I had small boxes when I was younger, and then over time got into the bigger boxes and things like that.
You're at Lowe's for a while, I believe,
Well,
and then a couple other places, right?
Yeah, I was at Office Depot for a minute,
yep.
Office Max for a while.
Yep.
And then I got a corporate job at Lowe's.
Okay.
And I think the one thing that was interesting, and I do tend to tell this story often, so I may have told it before, but
Well, not here. This is your
Maybe
debut
not.
on the
Yeah.
podcast, so everybody can hear it.
but you know, you're at a company that's a $1 billion company that's, you know, and you think you've got some level of job security. I was very good at what I did. And one day, and it's happened to a lot of people now. One day I came into work and they gathered us together and like, yeah, your department's no longer needed. And at that point, I was 50 years old. So that was probably one of the most, and I loved my job. It was probably one of the most devastating moments of my life. Because not only are you getting to that, first, I worked for years to get to this job that I absolutely loved, and it was gone. And you can do a lot of reflection over time on that. But what ended up happening was, you know, well, they gave me a severance package, which was $15,000. And Jim was sitting at home at a kitchen table, pounding out resumes, applying online. And believe it or not, most people didn't want to hire 50-year-old guys for much. I couldn't believe it, but it was the absolute truth. It wasn't a thing. And I think it's a good story. One day I'm sitting at the table and I'm pounding out resumes and the Wi-Fi went down. So now I got no Wi-Fi in my house. Couldn't watch TV because it was running off Wi-Fi. So I got on my phone, and you can't make this up. There was a Steve Harvey video, and it's called You Have to Jump. If you've never seen it, you should watch it. Have you seen it?
I think it's ringing a bell. Would you have any quotes from it that could remind us? Or
Well, what he talks about in it is that if you ever want to know what life can truly look like, you've got to take a chance and jump. Otherwise, you can go to a job and work forever. And, you know, but you'll never know your true potential. You'll never know exactly what you can be unless you jump. That moment, my wife had been going to Burn. Mm-hmm. My wife had been going to Burn in Mooresville. Mm-hmm. And they had handed her a flyer months ago, and we had thrown it in a drawer. It was basically talking about doing a franchise. Mm. And I was like, I called her at work, and I was like, Nicole, where's that flyer at? And I got it. And I think the first person I talked to was Jolene. Mm-hmm. And don't get mad about this, guys, but the franchise fee at that time was $15,000. Mm-hmm. And I started to really believe almost immediately things like that are weird, right? Yeah. You're like, okay, why is the Wi-Fi going? And the first thing, I go to Facebook and it's the first thing I see. And I'm just like, this is, okay. Then, I can't afford it. And Steve Harvey talks about it. Like, there's always a reason why you can't do something. Right. So it's like, I told her then, I was like, we're going to do this. We're going to take that severance package and we're going to do a burn boot camp. And we'll do it where we used to live. We lived in Mooresville at the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, we'll do it in Woodstock, where we used to live. And I went and met with you. Mm-hmm. I gave you my $15,000.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And it was wild back in those days. And I won't get too long-winded on this, but it was different then. You're right, it was.
You can call it what it is. We're very honest here. It was. We were a bunch of young people that didn't really have any experience in business, and we were trying to develop an operational system that could help out people that you had way more experience than we even did.
Well, and it was wild. I mean, I don't know that you recall it, but I remember interviewing Jody. And I was like, I don't know, Devan, would you do an interview on her? Devan did an interview on her, and he goes, you would be stupid not to hire her.
Yeah, Jody, I got your back, dog. Let's go.
And I did, and I hired her. She's an incredible head trainer, and then she and I went on and opened Peachtree City together, and she went on to become a multi-unit franchise and franchise partner of the year.
Yep.
As a matter of fact.
Leaders create leaders, Jim.
Yeah, and it was just and speaking of that, Steve, but speaking of that Steve Harvey video, guess who I shared that video with?
Jody?
Caroline Jones.
Oh, Caroline Jones. Okay.
I shared that video with Caroline Jones when she was thinking about doing Burn.
Yeah, and she was a Burn ambassador at your Woodstock location, right?
Yeah.
So can I give people context real quick? So Caroline and Daniel Jones are also multi-unit franchise partners of the year. And so there's a common theme here that when you are around Jim, that your future probably has something to do with multi-unit franchise partner of the year for Burn Boot Camp. It seems that you have, it's obvious to me why. It's obvious to me why, Jim, because you are a man of character. You're somebody's people want to work for. You have championship culture in your veins, in your blood. It's about putting high performers around each other and letting them feed off each other, getting out of their way, being a marketing company that's focused on confidence. You are you have helped shape this organization with us.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
I do, for real.
Yeah.
And it is an honor, and it's crazy to think about. They can't see everybody, but in this room, I got people that were there from the beginning. Beginning when we got to Hoover, that are still with us today. And no, they're not necessarily in the gyms, but Andrea's my marketing person, and Brandy does all of my outreach, and Tiffany does all of my operations, and we put Summer on recently. But going back, those guys have been with me forever. Megan, head trainer in Homewood, been with me since before before this was open. So you think about that, and again, go back to it, and I don't want to get over crazy about it, but they reached out to me. Some of them reached out to me before this gym it was dirt. And you start to wonder, why did these people get put in your life? If you start to do a lot of some retrospect on things, you're like, something there was like, is this the plan? And I knew it was. We opened Woodstock. We had no money. I mean, we both had jobs, and guess what we had? Bills.
You were down to the last dollars on that one?
Yeah, we were stupid. Yeah. And what we ended up doing, for real, we opened Burn Woodstock on credit cards. We maxed out every single credit card we had. And I was 50 years old, maxed out every credit card we had. Because one thing we did have was good credit, right? So we maxed out every card we had to build that gym. And never once did we think this wouldn't work. It was I listened to Ted and Chelsea's, and it was interesting to listen to Ted and Chelsea's.
Oh, their interview on the podcast?
Yeah, it was interesting. I loved it, and it made me think, when you look back to some of the similarities. Now, I wasn't a trainer, but I did spend the first 6 months in Woodstock. I didn't live as far away as Ted and Chelsea lived. But I was there every morning at 4:30 and didn't leave till 7:30 that night. I got on Craigslist. I rented a room from some guy I didn't know. And I got a family. I got a wife and 2 kids at home. And that's what you do when you think that you finally found what was always supposed to be. That makes sense.
It's no matter what.
It was no matter what, and never thought, I wonder if this, can't ever remember me thinking, I wonder if this will work.
No hesitation.
I always knew it would work. I always knew it would work.
And so then when you make the decision to exit the Woodstock location and then move over to Alabama and start here, I'm curious, how did you guys come to that decision? It was, I remember it. I mean, I remember you, Jim, like you, and just shout out to Jolene too. Our, she's like a sister to me, is like our VP of franchise development, whose son turned like YouTube superstar. And now she's up, being the president of his organization. She's living her best life. Shout out Joe. She helped build this organization too. So flowers are well deserved there. And, you know, we always, it was funny, Jim, because we were attracted mostly our members. It was mostly members, and, you know, obviously Nicole was a member, but you, when you came in, Jolene goes, we had like personas for our franchise development prospects, and one of them was the corporate refugee. That was like the persona, the avatar. And Joe, I remember her coming into my office, and she's like, you know how Joe is? Yeah. She's lots of energy, and she's like very much like excitable person. And she walks into my office, she goes, I think we got our first corporate refugee. I'll never forget it, because we were excited about the personas, but it was obviously, Jim, you're much more than that to this organization, and you know, you jumped off the ledge, right, to go to build in Atlanta, and you wanted more. You built the 2 locations in Atlanta. You ended up moving here. Tell us that story. How do you go from 2 in Atlanta to 4 in the greater Birmingham market?
Well, Atlanta filled quick, and keep in mind, we were broke. So I couldn't buy another location. And by the time I had the money to buy another location, it was tight. They were kind of gone. Atlanta had blown up. And Jolene and I talked for a bit, and I was like, maybe I get out of Atlanta. How about we don't worry about Atlanta? Because anyway, I don't play well with others anyways, right? It's like, let me just find a spot. And I remember I used to work for Gateway Computers, and one of the best Gateway computer stores in the country was in Hoover, Alabama, which was wild to me. But we came out here, Nicole and I drove out here, and we liked the area. We looked at the demos. You know, one of the things Ted talked about, you got to have the demos. Yeah, Ted's right. You better have the demos. And the demos were solid. We liked that. We liked Vestavia Hills. We liked Hoover. And then it was finding the right location. And again, I'm not trying to make a theme here, but we were going to move in down by the Galleria. We had a spot next to Whole Foods. And thank God, Whole Foods said, no, we don't want you. And they had rights to veto people out of the new shopping center. And we found that this was opening. And we're like, we liked the deal that we were able to get here. And we're like, you know, you don't want us there, we'll go over here. And that's exactly what we did. A year later, that Whole Foods is gone. They shut down. It was a center that was absolutely in the wrong spot. We would not be talking today if I would have went there. Once again, it's just another one of those things. It's like, I keep getting steered in the right direction, which can make you feel really empowered. Like, can I make a wrong call? I made some, but the more you do it, so we opened up Hoover. We learned a lot. We learned a lot from Woodstock. We learned a lot from Peachtree City. And we brought it here, and this gym exploded out of the gate. It exploded out of the gate. I had met Tiffany on Facebook because she used to work at a Burn, and she's like, I want to work for you. Megan, she used to work with Lindsay Bunshaw and with Shackley. And she was like, you know, I heard that there's a Burn coming in. I'd like to work with you. Interviewed with her, made her a trainer. And they're still with us today, you know? And we built an incredible team. And this gym took off. And I can remember when I was interviewing Megan for the support trainer position here, I was like, when we open our second gym, you're going to be my head trainer. And I think one of the things you had said, is when you say something like that, hell, Megan hadn't trained at camp yet. What if she sucked? Mm-hmm. Luckily, the first camp she came out and trained, I was like, oh my God, she's a natural. She's going to be incredible. And she is.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've been able to identify that talent and the team around you. I mean, I look at my team briefs me on, you have a huge team, and obviously I know your core, 5 or 6 really well. We've been at Fire Club together and all that good stuff, but I get to meet new people, Jim, and you surround yourself. You have a high standard. It's the championship standard that we all have here at Burn, and you don't uphold it. You increase it every day, and the reason you do that is because your team, they're pulling you forward, right? There's no detractors, and you make those decisions, right? And it's a free marketplace, and the reason you don't have turnover, I'm sure you have a little bit, but the reason you have such a solid team is because you've provided an environment for Andrea and Brandy and other leaders to lead. Yeah. You get out of their way, macro management, right? Like, get out of their way, set good context, tell them what success looks like, empower them, give them responsibility, hold them accountable, because that's what high performers want, but get out of their way, give them responsibility and flexibility. And whether it's Emma, who I just joined your team recently, or, it's Megan, like, who's been here since forever. It's a common denominator, is that everyone, no matter how old they are, where they come from, they all want to be here. They all want to work hard, and it's not just a check the box job. It's a mission they show up for.
No, for sure. I think the one thing that we've kind of, we've evolved into, maybe is the right word. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but it's a Sabanism. It's a Nick Saban phrase. And we use a lot of them in this gym.
Like us some Nick Saban, you know that.
But he says high achievers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high achievers.
Say that one more time, Jim, for me. Can you say that one more time for me?
High achievers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't like high achievers. Boom. And you know what? We, over time, have it makes your life so much easier. We've put high achievers in virtually every role. My leaders, Lindsay Bird and Abigail and Brittany and Megan, my head trainers, they're incredible. And you know what? They don't allow on their team? Mediocre people. If you're mediocre, you might last a month or two, but you aren't going to last long. And what you end up getting is a bunch of high achievers. And I'm at the spot now where I don't drive that. They drive that. Makes my job a lot easier. I'm not going, oh, she's terrible. I look at the team and they'll come to me. They're like, this isn't going to work. Okay. Let me know if you need me. Right. And it gets taken.
Feels good, right? Having that.
It does. It feels really good because you got I am blessed. I have such good people around me, and they pull me along now. Mm-hmm. There's days that I'm not as good as I could be, but they are. Mm-hmm. And, part of that is when you find gaps, right? Personal gaps. When we started this thing, I did the marketing. It was one gym. I could do it, but I didn't do it well. Andrea is insane. She is so incredibly good at what she does. And we're at a spot, I don't know, I might talk to Andrea once a month. Maybe. Sometimes I talk to her a lot, but a lot of times I just talk to her every now and again because she's doing what she does. No, it's an absolute blessing to have those type of people around you. We added, I'm getting old, and tech's starting to beat me a little bit. We added Summer to our team. Summer's doing stuff now with AI and getting into that, and has detailed out our spreadsheets and how we track people and how we manage and drive that business. So it's finding those people and understanding your gaps. Brandy, listen, I'm not good at going out and meeting people and hosting events of sorts, but Brandy lives for it.
If you guys knew Brandy, you would know what he means. She is the party, walking party.
She's a walking party.
Walking party.
She loves, that's what, she's got a t-shirt that says that. Yeah. I'm a walking party.
We love you. You know that, right? That's such a compliment. You're the light to our lives.
But you do. You find your gaps.
Yeah.
You know, and Tiffany's not here right now, but she'll be here tomorrow. And you couldn't do the business without her.
Yep.
Couldn't do the business without her. 2,459 members. She's put every single one of their membership agreements into the system. She owns that part of the business. So everything flows to her. She manages all of our loop sparks, everything. It's a mammoth job that she has and that she does.
Your success shows that you put high performers in place. And you have an amazing team. And I experienced that. We just got done with a 4:30 workout. I had Amanda on the mic, and she did amazing. Is she in the building right now watching us live anywhere? No, she's not. Oh, she's in the child watch room hanging out, probably doing some trainer stuff. But we were throwing down arms and core out here, and we had a great feedback loop afterward. And you know, one thing I noticed about this location as soon as I walked in is that the door, like nobody ever touches the door. There's always somebody holding the door for somebody else. And it's such a little thing, but it's such a big thing in the eyes of members. And like we felt the energy from the parking lot. Like when you pull up here, you feel the energy from the parking lot, and you step on the floor, and you know, Amanda just owned it at this camp. She really did. I mean, it was, I'm still sweating, and it was like arms and core. And, you know, it's a really, how would you say? It's like surreal for me to walk into your gym, and for it to be executed like that. It's like my dream come true.
Yeah.
It really is. Like if I had a much better day today that I walked in here and saw that. Yeah. Like I'm on fire. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. So after an amazing camp, you know, my next question for you is, you've dialed it in, right? You've dialed it in. You've got 4 locations. You got a couple more.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the future of your organization.
Well, the future of our organization is, right now we are in lease negotiations with a location that is currently, I would love to tell you it's dirt, but it's actually woods. So, in Trustville. Again, I think one of the things, that there's any lessons that could be learned, is you don't make a bad spot work. Mm-hmm. And we've looked in Trustville for years, and we just couldn't get the right spot. We got the right spot. We absolutely do. The demos are great. The location is great. But it's woods. So we're in the negotiations on it, and right now what they have guaranteed me is that this gym will be built by December of 2027.
Okay.
So that's out there. But we also have Alabaster. So initially, what we were thinking that we were going to do would be to open Trustville, then open Alabaster. Now we're looking at it kind of like the situation that we had in Meadowbrook and Woods, okay, in Homewood, where we signed a lease in Meadowbrook, and it took them 3 years to build it. Well, in the meantime, we went ahead and opened Homewood. Homewood not only was built and open, it was open a year before Meadowbrook was ready to go. So we would love to get into Alabaster before and open by December of this year. Mm. So we're looking for a pre-existing location, and we did identify one.
Okay, great.
And we're working through that
process.
process.
All right.
Yeah.
You know that saying, there's a, so if you could give yourself like advice and you were starting this thing 10 years ago, let's say, and you were to give advice to somebody right now who is thinking about a burn, or they're listening to this and they were in the position that you were in 10 years ago, back in 2016, what's some of the things that you might tell them?
Well, that's a good question. I think you need to take inventory. I think this is fair. You need to take inventory of what you personally are actually good at. For a while there, I did some mentoring with people. And I think you see it today. There are people that are probably really good at things that not necessarily drive the business. So I think you take an inventory of what you're good at. And if you do that and you can identify people around you that can fill those gaps early, I think you stand a much stronger I've said this before. I know I've said it before. This isn't a hard business. Some people make it real hard, but it's not hard. We don't have produce sitting in here that's going to go bad. We don't, it's treat people well, right? Have great training, have the best training you can have. If you have great training and you treat people well, in our particular situation, we're all women, you create an incredible bond within those people, and it creates the community. The community is not manufactured. It is a byproduct of what we do. And I think when you can do that, you can have great success. And you've got to be able to singularly focus on those things. Today's harder than before, right? Because there's a lot of noise and a lot of things that can get into your ears that have nothing to do with driving your members, your membership, or creating that community that happens within inside of these gyms.
You ever read John C. Maxwell by chance? You ever heard of John C. Maxwell? Yeah. John C. Maxwell's a leadership author. He's one of my favorite leadership authors. He writes a book called, we talk about it on the pod. Jordan, our producer, probably is like sick of me saying this book over, but it's my favorite one. It's called 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. And the first one law is the law of the lid. And the law of the lid says that the owner is the lid to the business, and the owner's character and its owner's moral aptitude is the lid to the business. The owner's ability to make decisions, its risk tolerance, and it's not the market, and it's not and it all comes back down to the fact that the business is a mere reflection of the owner. And so my question for you, and I know you've heard the saying, be the change that you'd like to see in the world. What have you had to change about yourself over the years in order to be the person that I sit here with today? Because you weren't the same Jim 5 years ago, 10 years ago that you are now. What change did you have to make in yourself that you wanted to see in the world? Well,
I don't know what that change exactly is. I know that a big part of it was the people that I surround myself with. And part of it's your own looking at yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself when you're awake at 3 a.m. And decisions that you make. I mean, I don't remember the last time I had a drink. I don't remember the last time it was. It's something that I chose to do because I felt like what I am representing myself, and I'm representing my people, my team, Hoover, Birmingham. They should see the best version of me. And the best version of me was not having a drink. I wasn't alcoholic, but I shouldn't have a drink. And I just quit drinking. Now I don't, it's not something I miss. It's just something I don't do anymore. I think that you put, good people in the right places my job looks very different. I think, my job looks very different than it did when we first opened Hoover. I was here a ton, right? And I knew, and I still know some of those original OG members. Now, I don't know a lot of, I know members here. I don't know a lot of members in Meadowbrook or Homewood. My job changed because if I went and did that, how could I possibly do, that's somebody else's, that's better at it than me, right? That's better at it than me. But I think part of it is being genuine. You gotta be genuine with yourself. You gotta be genuine. Then you never have to fake. I would tell you that every single one of the people that I work with every day knows exactly who I am. And I don't think I could have said that 5 years ago or 8 years ago or 10 years ago. Hell, I didn't know who I was. This has been the evolution of that since I got into this. And equally, I know I get long-winded on this, but equally part of that is I feel like I have been blessed. I really, really do. I look at this thing and the things that have happened along the way, and I'm like, it's not a coincidence. So that's a lot of responsibility that I love. I don't know if I answered your question.
Yeah, you definitely did. It's this business has helped you become who you are today. And I think it's embracing all of the hard work and all the things that come your way and believing in yourself. One thing that I'm good at is just seeing in other people. You're very good at it as well. Seeing in other people what they don't quite see in themselves yet, and planting that seed like you did with Megan before, and having a little faith that, and once you have that faith and you're able to prove to yourself that you do have that superpower of seeing in other people what they can't see in themselves. Now there's an obligation, and that's the way I feel, at least. I don't know how you feel. I feel a moral obligation. I'm still having fun. I'm not saying that in a way of like, I have to do this and it's miserable. I have to still go out and go to, 50 to 100 locations every year. I love it.
Right.
I love it. I want to be here. That's what success is for me, Jim. I'm going to ask you this question, what success means to you, but to me, it's like, it's nothing to do with money. That's not part of my equation. It's doing what I love with who I love, when I love, where I love, how I want to do it, when I want to do it my way, following God's calling, of course. But, that's success to me. And and all that equals freedom. But if we don't have the discipline, if we don't have the hard work, if we don't have that responsibility, then you don't have that pressure to, they don't have that responsibility that shapes you. What do you think? How do you look at success?
Honestly, I think you nailed it. There's words, and these guys will tell you, there's words I don't play with. I never tell these guys that I'm proud of them. It's just a weird word for me. I'm like, you're not my children. I'm not proud of you. But what I damn sure is I'm honored to work with them. And you run into, this team is so good. And it starts with their leader. Lindsay Bird made me a better person for sure. She is an incredible trainer. The standards that she holds the gym to and her people to is high. But if you're going to hold people to this super high standard, if you're going to work them hard, you better love them hard. And she does. She's good. She's one of the best.
I would love to give her a little compliment and some flowers, because we were just doing this feedback loop right behind the set here that we set up. And Jim, like I don't like yes people. I don't like people that tell me yes because they think that I want to hear it. If you really know me, you know that I value you telling me all the things that are wrong.
Right.
I used to get a little bit more maybe up in arms about that, hearing the things that I didn't want to hear in my mid-20s. But a couple years of that, you get mature real quick. And I learned the value of listening, and I learned the value of taking what I hear in the gym and really listening, like the art of listening. And so I want to shout out Lindsay, because we were doing a feedback loop and she was like, hey, I'm going to push back on you. No, probably nobody does that, but I'm going to do it right now. Can you explain that a little different way? I didn't get what you're trying to tell me. And and it was out of respect, and her just, this is a humble approach that I'm taking to this, because I don't think that I should be talked to in any other way but that. Right. Like I want people to say, DK, that's not right. I have a better idea. I'm listening. Right. I'm here. And she did. And it was, it's just, I've learned to notice those little things. And if she's willing to do that in this setting, how you do one thing's how you do everything. It's just a little microcosm, a little hologram of what the rest of your life looks like. And so, like, another good way to say that is, like, if people show you who they are or tell you who they are, you better believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. There's been nobody that I've had to slow down and relax for a second, right? Because she's on at 110 miles an hour all the time, thinking through things. Oh, let me think through it 14 more times.
Right.
And I did love, I noticed it and I was so proud. Oh God, I just said it.
See, you are proud, you big soft teddy bear.
But it was when you were doing that feedback loop, I was like, there she goes. Because if she doesn't understand it, it would have been easy to go, oh yeah, I got it.
Got it, boss.
But,
yep.
And you would have walked out the door and she wouldn't have had it. But she valued that and said, I'm going to ask more questions until I understand it. Mm-hmm. And that's why she's so good.
Yeah, definitely.
And it plays out to the rest of the trainers, the time that she spends and pours into them, and the entire gym. I don't think I've ever worked with anybody like her.
Well, that is, I'm sure, going to be music to her ears. Yeah, that's for sure.
She's quite something.
All right, Jim, it's time on the program today for the soundbite, okay? This is the Mark of Excellence soundbite. The marketing team always wants me to, during the podcast, to give them a nice little soundbite so they can clip it up and share it on social media afterwards, okay? Yeah. So we're going to do the Mark of Excellence soundbite.
Okay.
It's an interesting way to tee it up, I guess. However, the Mark of Excellence the Mark of Excellence definition is the following. When you have 600 members or more in the qualifying period, which is summit to summit. Mm-hmm. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to officially award on the podcast today the Mark of Excellence Award to Hoover, Alabama. 650 members. Shout it out from the rooftop. Let's go. Setting the stage for Burn Boot Camp. You got Birmingham here, and it's just a little shining star of our entire Burn Nation. 450 plus gyms, and these 4 gyms here, with Hoover leading the way, are really shaping Jim Burn Nation. So thank you, Hoover. Thank you, Meadowbrook. I'm going to say it right this time, Jim, okay? Vestavia Hills and Homewood. And I know that you got 2 more coming soon, all 2,359 members to be exact. Yep. We love you guys. Keep going. I know that you may or may not know this, okay? So I need to tell you this. As a member here in this market, you are part of something amazing. You are not only a part of your growing your individual confidence and allowing Burn to help you become a better person, like it's made Jim and I and everybody else, and then using that to make your family better and your community better and your job better but at the end of the day, all right, you are being looked at. This gym is being looked at on social media and all from every angle as what to do and what not to do. And so when your trainers give you heavier weights and you've taken them and you've lifted them despite your own doubt, that's leadership. When you show up at 5:30 a.m. on a Friday morning and you've already done 4 camps in a week, that's championship culture. That's Hoover, Alabama. Jim, you set that standard. I want you to say a couple words on Mark of Excellence, what it means to you. I'll officially give you the award and the team award at a 9 a.m. camp tomorrow morning that I will be training. And I just wanted to give you some space on the pod here to talk about the Mark of Excellence and what it means to you.
Yeah. No, it is certainly the most prestigious award that you can get because 7 gyms?
Mm-hmm. 7 only.
Yeah, that's not a lot of gyms. Nope. I will tell you that I was I didn't know I was getting the award. I didn't know the gym was getting the award. So I was surprised when we were recognized at the summit last year. And I think is recently, as we were getting ready for this team, I think, started to feel something different. And maybe it was what you're talking about. Maybe it's part of it was we really are elite. I don't like to think that we're elite, but hell, we're elite.
And you're elite.
Yeah, these guys.
There's no doubt.
And these guys are elite. These, man, I don't go to the coal mines every day and work. I don't. I get up in the morning, I go work out, I come home, I eat breakfast, and I walk up to my office. These ladies are in here at 4:30 in the morning getting things set up. And they just, they're genuine. I don't have any, I would love to say that I would love to say we don't have any, and if we do, I don't know who they are, that are fake. These are genuine women that care about the ladies that come into this gym. That's a big deal. That makes you elite. That makes you special. And if you can do that and do that well, your members feel it. The members feel it. I love this award. I'd love this award. I really do. I just think that I think it's the best award we have. There's a lot of great franchise partner of the year was a great award. There's a lot of great franchise partners out there. This team is elite. And 7 people, 7 gyms. No, they're probably elite too. I don't know, 450? I'll take it.
Let's go.
I love that. Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Jim, wrapping up the pod today. It's been a wonderful conversation. Anything else that you want to say? I'll give you some space to do it. Burn Nation's listening. Burn Nation's listening. The podcast is growing.
Yeah.
I know everybody listens to it here, Hoover, right? Everyone listens to the pod. Everybody's got to subscribe now. Subscribe if you're listening to this for the first time because your franchise partner is here at any of the 4 gyms. But we wanted to give you some space to talk to Burn Nation. Yeah. Not every member listens to the podcast, but a growing number of them are. And it's been really nice for our franchise partners to speak directly to our members, to Burn Nation, to everybody. So that camera right there, Jim, that you kind of treat it like an eyeball.
Yeah.
And you look into it and you tell Burn Nation.
You know the camera was there.
Yeah. There, it's been such a good conversation. You forgot where we were at, but yeah, that's Burn Nation right there. Yeah. And Jim, we're going to clip this up a little bit too. So make sure you are punchy. Okay, be really punchy when you give your advice. Okay. Yeah.
I'll say this, and I'm sure this isn't where you thought I was going to go. But over the past couple days, you get to kind of reflect on a lot of things. And I do reflect back to the beginning. And, Woodstock was 24. And we're at 450 now. We used to get Afterburn out of the office. You'd go to the office and you would get the Afterburn. Retail was run out of the office. It was a closet. It was a
legit closet. Like
it was a legit
warehouse
closet.
was a closet.
It really was. And, I've done great. Got 4 gyms. You got 450. I think about that all the time. I think about what we talked about a little bit ago. Very quickly, we talked about in 2 seconds. I poked you a little bit on baseball, right? Wasn't where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't where you were supposed to be. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's a huge accomplishment. I'm super proud of what my team does. But equally, you got to think 450 gyms. And we're growing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great, I want to put this right. It's a great business. And I'm not talking about, to your point, it's not about money. Although the money's good. But it is about, we kept ours all women for a reason. And I've always said this, and I believe it to the bottom of my heart, and there is nothing like empowering women empowering women, and driving them to be better than they ever thought they could be. And we do that. We do that in here every single day. There's nothing like it in the world. There's nothing like it in the world. I wake up and I'm like, hell, is it a job? I don't know if it's a job. I got the best gig in the world with the best women I could ever imagine. So that is a blessing to me every single day.
Well, Jim, I really appreciate you allowing us to come here and have a celebration and welcoming us into this amazing gym. Setting up the podcast set, you guys spending time here. We're gonna get out of here and go get some dinner. I think over at a spot next door. We're hungry. We all need some protein. We've been working out hard, and Matt Morris is over here looking at me. He's about to eat his own arm. He needs protein. So we're gonna get out of here, Jim. Thank you so much. Congratulations on the Mark of Excellence.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Couldn't do this without you. We really mean that. True OG, true shining star of Burn Boot Camp, Jim Saffron, everybody. Make sure you're subscribing to the podcast, okay? If you are listening to this, we need your help. We're trying to get our subscription numbers up. That first number, this is very important. It's not just the Burn Boot Camp YouTube channel. It's a Burn Boot Camp podcast YouTube channel. You keep subscribing to the wrong one. It's the one with like no subscribers. The one with 110,000 or whatever you guys keep subscribing to. Stop subscribing to that one and do the podcast, okay? Burn Boot Camp Podcast on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, everybody. Love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. We'll take it out like we always do. 2 claps on 2 from Hoover, Alabama. 1, 2.